welcome back to Hoops Junction. Today we're going to talk about hypotheticals. Now, I hate hypotheticals. It's always, can LeBron James beat Michael Jordan one-on-one? Can Kobe Bryant ever get 6 rings if he was playing by himself? All kinds of things. Who's the best center? If they played against each other, who would win? Shaq or Wilt Chamberlain, or like stupid stuff. It's always something stupid. Like, who do you got? Well, you taking this guy or that guy? You taking Stephen Curry or Allen Iverson? You taking Kobe Bryant in his prime or LeBron James in his prime? You taking Kevin Garnett in his prime or Tim Duncan? Like stupid stuff. A lot of things that we can't quantify. But I found it very interesting, and I just wanted to tackle one for a change. I wanted to not be above the fray and just fall into the fray and see where I fell. So there's an initial meme, which is in the title of the video. You can see the picture. It's who would you choose? And I'll put a link. I'll probably put the picture up right now. Based on what you think and your thoughts, if you fall in the first category of players, I already know how old you are. You're definitely like a young person, and you probably think that Stephen Curry and LeBron James are like the only players that ever play in the NBA, or the best of the elite. You probably don't even know who Michael Jordan is. Like, you probably don't even think he's that great. Definitely, if you pick that first team, you don't think he's that great. Now, if you're the latter of the two, if you pick the second team, which has Kobe, Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett, and Tim Duncan, then you're definitely there. But let's talk about the first team. The first team is Stephen Curry. He has a ring. James Harden, no rings. LeBron James, he has 2, and KD, Anthony Davis. So right there, you have 3 championships. You have some championship experience there, but not much. In the bottom team, which Kobe, Iverson, T-Mac, Tim Duncan, KG, you have 11 rings, like Bill Russell. I mean, at the end of the day, those 11 rings, those 11 years in the finals, and some of them have multiple appearances in the finals. And so right then and there, that championship experience should speak for itself. Not to mention that all the players from that 90s group, which is AI, Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, they are true franchise players. They came in the league, and with little time to adjust, they had to mature into the franchise player almost immediately. I'll say Kobe had a little more leeway, but Iverson, he had to come in there immediately. T-Mac immediately. Tim Duncan immediately. KG, the big ticket, immediately. You know what I'm saying? So besides LeBron James, Stephen Curry had a lot more time to develop into the franchise player. James Harden, he came off the bench from Oklahoma City. So, and the way he's playing right now, I don't even want to consider him anything with a franchise. I thought I'd be wrong about him and his role into becoming a franchise player, but I wasn't wrong at all. He's too focused on one aspect of the game. LeBron James came in there with the mindset of franchise player immediately. KD, he had time, and plus he has Russell Westbrook. But I'll say KD's a franchise player. Anthony Davis, I think he's a franchise player, but not now. He's not in his prime yet. So right now, I mean, he has a lot of growing to do. But let's just go down to the matchups. All right, so you got Stephen Curry, Allen Iverson. Of course, right now, Stephen Curry is the hottest guy in the game. You know what I'm saying? He just had a season where he won a championship, won an MVP. Now he has to go ahead and he's tearing it up right now. He's shooting high percentage, crossing people up, making them look stupid. So, I saw somewhere where somebody compared the stats of the two, and they said, well, I would take Stephen Curry over Allen Iverson because this season he's averaging this and he's averaging that. But the crazy thing is, it's like Allen Iverson was doing what Stephen Curry was doing back in the day when the game was only for big men, period. Big guards, big men. So right then and there, if Allen Iverson was dominating in the league with centers, true centers, my opinion is I'll take Allen Iverson in that matchup every time. I love Stephen Curry. I think he's great. He's excellent. He's one of the best shooters. He's probably the best shooter I've ever seen, hands down. He's the best shooter. So, with that being said, though, I'm taking Iverson. He dominated in a league. He won the MVP. I think it was 2001 season in a league with Shaq, Yao Ming. With true centers. So right then and there, I'm going with Iverson on that one. James Harden in his prime and Kobe in his prime. Well, you already know what Kobe did in his prime. 5 rings. The Black Mamba. And what's crazy is he didn't hit his prime till pretty much after him and Shaq separated. So there was a time where he had 4 straight games of 50 points, 81 points in a game. Back-to-back championships with Pau Gasol, so a 3-peat, so just to show you it wasn't a fluke. So right then and there, I'm cashing in Kobe for my vote. So right now, it's not looking good for the new school, you know what I'm saying? And then, so now let's go, and we'll talk about LeBron James and T-Mac. Now, both of them in their prime, it was very hard to decipher. But I'll just stay with LeBron on that end because LeBron has been to the finals multiple times. T-Mac really couldn't get out the first round. So, sorry T-Mac, but I'm going to keep it real. Even though when they went head-to-head, T-Mac he won most of those matchups. But I'm still going to go with LeBron in that case. And then KD and KG in his prime. Hey, listen, I'm taking KG. I'm taking the big ticket. Because if they were ever to play in a real game in their prime, Kevin Garnett is not going to let a scrawny 6'11" guy stop him in the paint. I don't know if you guys... See, that's the problem with like a lot of kids and just people in general. They forget how good people used to be. Kevin Garnett used to bang on people all the time. Like, it's just like, he would get the ball, he would run down the court, put the ball behind his back, and bang on people. Like, he would bang on Tim Duncan. He banged on everybody. Like, It was a different animal back in the day, and I'm going to explain to you why in a few minutes. It was just a way different animal, but I'm taking KG over KD. I know KD has better handles, he's a better shooter, but Kevin Garnett had that killer instinct, that mentality, like, you're not messing with me. Moving on to Tim Duncan and Anthony Davis. Need I say more? Tim Duncan in his prime, Anthony Davis right now. Tim Duncan. That's the no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan is not even in his prime now and won a championship 2 years ago. So right there, it's just like, come on, like let's not even debate that. Tim Duncan came into the league, like, he turned the entire franchise around. He's like one of those transcendent players to ever play, and he's the best power forward to ever live. So right then and there, if we tally up the matchups, the old school team of Iverson, Kobe, McGrady, Tim Duncan, KG, they have it. And you could like kind of switch up. Like, you could say, okay, I'll take Curry over Iverson. You could have that if you want it. But in all honesty, only people that the team is, you really can rely on 100% is Iverson. For the new school is Curry and LeBron, and then KD and Anthony Davis, James Harden. All those guys are shooters. The reason why, I picked the second team with the old school vets. Man, what the hell? With the old school vets is just for the simple reason they played in the league when there was hand checking, pushing, elbowing, clotheslining. And these guys were getting buckets with all of that happening. People were getting punched. People were getting choked. I mean, Kobe got hit with a two-piece by Chris Childs at one point. I mean, if that happens today, they're gonna suspend the guy like maybe 10 games, 30 games or something. They'll say, oh, it's not good for the game. If Stephen Curry going to lane and get clothesline, I mean, they will be like, oh, like we gotta create a new rule so it doesn't happen. Something happens with LeBron, they create a new rule so he could have extra time. Like this past finals, it was complaining about too many back-to-backs. All of a sudden, okay, in the finals we won't have back-to-backs because LeBron James, he got tired. Instead of really saying that he just was bitching about it and now we got to change it because he's running the league. Back in the day, these guys, they were like Iron Men and they could take a hit. Like these new guys, they can't take a hit. They can't take a hit, man. They have broken feet. They have messed up rotator cuffs, and the game's not as physical anymore. So I mean, just imagine pitting them up against a group of physical guys that's gonna beat you up. They're gonna pick you up full court. Iverson was picking up guys full court. Kobe was picking up guys full court. They're gonna block your shot. They're gonna talk smack to you. They're gonna talk about your mother. They're gonna talk about your daddy, KG. He's gonna talk about anybody in your family. He doesn't care if you're deceased. He doesn't care if you got cancer. He's gonna keep talking, keep running his mouth. And you gotta understand the way that these guys came from, the era that they came from, like in the 90s, mid 90s. Everybody talked smack. Like today, like LeBron or whatever happened with LeBron James and Lance Stevenson, that was considered like a huge deal because he blew in his ear. I mean, those people used to do that all the time. Mark Jackson used to talk smack. You know what I'm saying? Gary Payton talked trash. Larry Bird talked trash. Michael Jordan talked trash. And you're talking about the second team, which is a spawn of all those guys. I mean, come on. That's a no-brainer, man. But that's just my opinion on it. I really don't like hypotheticals, but I'm gonna go ahead and entertain it. It's Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for you guys to keep me up here with this content. Keep it rolling in. Let me know what you think. What team do you fall on the side of? Curry, LeBron, James Harden, Anthony Davis, and KD, or are you siding with me, Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant? Sheesh. Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett, and we're going to end it up with the best power forward of all time, Tim Duncan. I mean, everybody I just named, pretty much a Hall of Famer. James Harden ain't a Hall of Famer, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Anthony Davis, he's not a Hall of Famer yet. He hasn't proved it enough to be a Hall of Famer. Kevin Durant, he looks like he's a future Hall of Famer. LeBron James, future Hall of Famer. I could say Curry, depending on Curry's future Hall of Famer if he continues on this streak. But other than that, man, the vets got it. I have to admit, man, like, and it's not even because of any prejudice or I think that their style of basketball is better than the new style of basketball. I'm just stating facts, and the facts are, the guys on the bottom know how to play the game. True franchise players, multiple championship experience amongst them, and winning, not just getting there. It's not good enough just to get there. They came down with the trophy multiple times. And I know Iverson never got one. I know McGrady never got one. And I know that's about it. Those two never got one. But you know why? Because they're losing them to Kobe and Shaq. They're losing them to Tim Duncan. All right, so there it is. But anyway, this is Vlad from Hoops Junction. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Peace.